Super Smash Bros. Brawl for the Wii. It's a fighting game, so you could say it's like Street Fighter 2, Mortal Kombat, or King of Fighters. But it's different. Not a little different, it's a lot different. How is it different? Well, the aforementioned fighting games are designed as one-on-one contests. Super Smash Bros. Brawl is designed from the ground up to accommodate as few as 2 and as many as 4 fighters on screen at the same time. Even a one-on-one contest, however, is still a lot different. Instead of trying to get your opponent's health down to 0, the objective is to knock your opponent off the screen. The more damage they take, the easier they are to knock around. But it's possible, with a misstep, to fall off the screen even if your character is still healthy. Likewise, a crafty player can often stay on the screen for a long time, even when very weak. This really adds a different dimension to the feel of the game. There's also the bizarre cast of characters. Most of the fighters are taken right from Nintendo's own library of past games. Where else could you see the Ice Climbers, Pikachu, Princess Zelda, and the guy from the old Game & Watch games duke it out? The eclectic roster is really unlike any I've seen in a commercial fighting game. The stages, likewise, are equally diverse. From Mario Kart to WarioWare, each stage is unique, and more often than not, the stage itself plays a role in the ensuing calamity. I love setting the stage select to random and just working with whatever I'm dealt. There's also the items. In any stage, there are a bevy of items to pick up and use to your advantage. Pokeballs, bats, swords, mushrooms, screw attack badges, health replenishing food, Donkey Kong hammers. It seems like just about anything and everything can be found scattered throughout the stage. This adds an extra amount of randomness to the game that helps keep it fresh and exciting. The scoring is also a lot different. Instead of the traditional 3-round match that most fighters give you, by default, Super Smash Bros. Brawl gives you a 2-minute time limit to your match. If you knock an opponent off the screen, you get a point. If you get knocked off the screen, or you fall off the screen by accident, you lose a point. Whoever has the most points at the end of the match is the winner. If there's a tie, then the fighters with the top scores go into sudden death mode, and the last fighter standing is the winner. Now, the reason I said by default is that there are other ways to set up the scoring, including adding or removing time, or going on a lives-based system. And those aren't the only options. No. We're only scratching the surface. In fact, some players might be overwhelmed by the sheer number of choices they have. Whether it's handicaps, turning items on or off, setting stage background music, etc., 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 the options are all there. Personally, when I play versus mode against the CPU, I like to set the handicap to auto. That way, the more I win, the more challenging the CPU gets. Now, as awesome as this game is, and believe me, it truly is awesome, there are some criticisms I have of this game. First, this is a game with tons of random items, auto handicap, and familiar characters. It's also a game published by Nintendo for the Wii. So you'd think it'd be inviting and accessible to non-gamers, right? Well, I thought this too, but in my own actual experience, I've found that my non-gamer friends have trouble getting into the game. First, the concept of knocking people off the screen plus the percentages attached to each character that actually increase as the character gets weaker, is foreign to them, and they don't instantly catch on to what's going on. They also tend to find the controls confusing, and when people are using tons of different items and the stage itself is doing wacky things, there's sometimes so much chaos on screen that they can't even follow the action. Now, it's true that the items can be turned off, but that just turns the game into a more skills-based competition, which puts the non-gamer at a further disadvantage. I've also tried turning on the auto handicap so that my non-gamer friends become stronger every time they lose a match. But then what happens is they get so strong that they finally win a match with virtually no effort whatsoever, and then they're confused and don't even understand why they won. Another criticism I have of this game is its overly extensive use of unlockables. To get all the characters that are advertised on the box, it's necessary to put many hours of play into the game's single-player mode. The only upside to this is that the single-player mode of this game is totally amazing. It's so amazing that it will be the focus of part 2 of my review of Super Smash Bros. Brawl for the Wii. I'm the Expanded Gamer in Asia. Thanks for watching.